Morning everybody in the internet world, Mower Boy here. Hope you're all doing well. Sunday morning, middle of November 2023, so well, season's well and truly over, but it isn't really because I sold a mower last week, and I just put the Christmas offers on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, so maybe get one or two nibbles of people who want a mower for Christmas. And yeah, can't wait to get striping their lawns by next March, April time if it's dry. So anyway, I've just had a couple of days on the road actually. So Saturday morning out with my daughter, we went to Sandhurst, or the outskirts of Sandhurst, and saw the very impressive, imposing walls around that place. Didn't go inside it, but gosh, they're big walls. And anyway, this guy lived just on the outskirts there, and he had he was selling his mum's Atco Balmoral 14S, and it was, I wouldn't normally have gone for it because it looked quite dirty and I wasn't sure about it, and I then kept looking and I realised it was the 2006 model because it had that altered front, altered panelling on the cover, which I'll show you in a sec, which I had on a 14 SE about 2 months ago, and I really like them actually because it makes it easy to get to the pull cord to replace the pull cord. And yeah, so and that one had a steel zinc front roller, and it also had a scarifier with it, and I got it for super money, so I was happy to jump in the car. Picked another scary up on the way home from a guy and just around the corner from me, who was selling it in box, brand new, never used. Managed to get that for a good price, and that was a 14-incher, so that will command good money next summer when people want the top of the notch Atco Balmoral 14SK with a super scarifier. That will get top money, so good time to buy. And then this morning I was out the door at 6 AM, drove all the way down to Margate of all places, which is a super fast journey for me, and picked a Suffolk Punch 17 SK up from a guy who wouldn't let me do my ship-lie thing because he was sort of concerned about scammers, and that's fair enough. So anyway, thank you for the mower, and that also came with a scarifier too, and the scarifier has cleaned up nicely. And yeah, I'm just going to show you them in a second because they're not bad. There's some work to do, you know, as with all these things. Well, the Atco Balmoral is 2006, the Suffolk Punch is 2007, so they are, you know, 16, 17 years old, but a lot of the time they've been kept in garages, so it's really how they were stored away and whether they were still covered in damp grass and whether there was any problems with it. You'll see on the Atco Balmoral there's a little bit of rusting on the deck, but not a lot, but that's usually it's caused by just wet grass being left on there. Put it in for the winter and it just dries slowly, but it causes problems whilst it's doing the drying slowly part. So anyway, yeah, so I'm back from Margate, and we'll get out of the car and we'll do a show and tell. Okay mate, bye. Okay, a bit windy at our HQ. It was beautiful and sunny down in Margate this morning. Lovely sort of beach, sun rising in the east. Fantastic, but a bit windy here. Anyway, so let's have a look at the Suffolk Punch to start with. So blades, that blade probably just needs sanding off and well, stripping out, sanding off and repainting, and then I'll backlap it, but otherwise neat and tidy mower, neat and tidy mower, decent grass box, and yeah, the scarifier is all in one piece and all nice and tidy. Just needs a bit of WD-40 on there. So I think the only issue I've seen with this one is this has come off. Still actually works, but I need a new one of those. That's a classic problem, and I might get one of those nice red ones because they're not very much money, just to add a little bit of glam to it. But yeah, I'll do the carb, the pull cord, this cassette, and that'll be ready probably this afternoon. And then over we go to the Balmoral 14S steel zinc roller, the tooth comb, grass comb thing. They look very nice actually, they look in good shape, so I don't really need to do much with that. The scarifier in there has got some broken tine holders, so I'm going to do a separate video on how to repair that. So yeah, it's not one I worried about when I was buying it, because it was only cheap, and the actual 6-blade itself, those 6 blades are actually quite valuable, and once stripped off, repainted and sharpened, that'll be a nice 6-blade, plenty of meat on it. And as I said before, this it's got this nice finish here on the thing, which means it's a 2006. Everything is looking good. This bit sometimes rusts at the top, and it's okay. It's looking nice and clean. I don't like those carbs. I'll probably put a Tillotson on there, change the manifold, put a Tillotson carb on, and the square airbox, because that's my favoured carb for doing these things. It's just so reliable. So yeah, and I was talking about rust earlier, and this area here on the deck is not perfect. The metal actually looks in good nick, but there's a few bits here that the water has just clogged up with grass, so it's not perfect, but that will sand off, and then we'll give that some proper primer and Atco Royal Green paint from Bearing Options when they finally get their finger out and deliver some. Yeah, and the only problem with this one is the actual accelerator thing, the rabbit lever has come off. I've got a spare one of those, so this literally that off, same at this side, and then just here, this screw here, take the whole unit off, put a new one on, so 3 screws later it's all repaired. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. And this side panel's in pretty good nick as well actually. It's got that extender part on to stop it falling over backwards. The 6-blade is also 2006. So yeah, so happy with all of that. Bit of work to do, but you know, I can sort of potter away during the week in my work breaks and stuff like that. So I'll get some. In fact, I'll probably get the Suffolk punch finished today, and the Balmoral will be done during the week and ready for the weekend. So see if anybody wants it for Christmas, eh? Right, so thanks very much everyone. Please like and subscribe if you've liked. As I said, it's mid-November, Moboy's still active, and lots of work to do, but I'll do a video on that scarifier repair, see where we get to with that. All the best.